The stillness lingered, dense and unyielding. For 6 weeks, an invisible rift widened between two hearts bound by vows to share every breath. 6 weeks of cold sheets. Hands purposefully kept at a distance, and weak pretexts masquerading as fatigue or minor illnesses. Initially, I persuaded myself it was a fleeting phase, a natural adjustment to our shared life. Perhaps she was simply guarded, I thought, or needed time to embrace the closeness of our union. I held fast to optimism, determined to see only her finest qualities. After all, my love for her burned fiercely, enough to wager my standing, my home, my entire future on her. But love, I came to understand, can be sightless until it confronts the stark reality. And that reality roared in its quietness. When I mustered the courage to face her, I steeled myself for doubt, perhaps even regret. Instead, her eyes locked onto mine, unyielding and frigid, her words slicing with surgical precision. My body belongs to me alone. You have no right to it. Those words didn't merely sting, they dismantled my dignity. It wasn't just her statement, but the frosty indifference in her voice, as if she had never intended to be my true companion. That night, alone again, the truth sank in. This wasn't hesitation. This was a deliberate betrayal. We first met 2 years before our wedding. She was magnetic, glowing in a way that captured every gaze in a room, like moths drawn to a flame. Yet inexplicably she chose me, or so I believed. Her laughter at my awkward jests, the way she tilted closer as I spoke, the dreams of a life we hadn't yet shaped. It all felt like a triumph. I thought I was the one she desired, the one who shone brightest among her many suitors. Our families were captivated by her allure. My friends regarded me with jealousy. She appeared perfect, almost too perfect. In hindsight, I see it wasn't love but a meticulously rehearsed performance, with me as the unwitting stage. The truth unraveled gradually in shards sharp enough to wound. Her phone, perpetually locked, was an impenetrable stronghold. A whispered conversation in the dead of night. Words not meant for my ears. He'll never lay a hand on me. Never. The way she flinched when my fingers brushed hers in public, not from timidity, but from contempt. Then came the most devastating revelation. Late one night, sorting through my emails, I stumbled upon an anonymous message. Attached were images of her with another man, taken months before our vows, locked in an intimacy she claimed she wasn't prepared to share with me. The note was short, mocking. She wed you for your prestige, not your love. The truth wasn't that she rejected closeness, it was that she reserved it for another. The ache within me transformed, searing through sorrow to something keener, icier. Not rage, not despair, but a calm determination. I didn't erupt. I didn't confront her. That would have given her control. Instead, I smiled. I pressed a kiss to her cheek each morning, and carried on as if all were unchanged. But behind the mask, I began to craft my strategy. I met with a lawyer, learning the nuances of annulment. How a marriage built on deceit could be dismantled like a poorly scripted play once its illusion was revealed. I carefully documented every cold night, every rebuffed gesture, every moment she wielded her independence not as a right, but as a blade. Quietly, I reshaped our financial terrain, redirecting assets and sealing off paths she hadn't even noticed. She thought she had secured a future of comfort. She didn't realize she stood on crumbling earth. The day I filed for annulment, I didn't announce it. I let the documents reach her during a light-hearted brunch with her friends, those who had once admired her apparent devotion to me. The news spread like wildfire. She had withheld intimacy, and I was seeking to end our marriage. She stormed home, her face twisted with fury, accusing me of humiliating her, of trying to dominate her, of believing marriage granted me ownership. I stood motionless, listening without reply. Then I handed her a dossier, messages, photographs, witness testimonies. Her composure shattered. She tried to deflect, then sobbed, then begged. But I had already armored my heart against her pleas. The court proceedings were a reckoning. Her attorney leaned on arguments of autonomy, choice, and personal liberty. Mine responded with proof of fraud, betrayal, and manipulation. The balance tipped decisively in my favor. The judge saw not a woman defending her independence, but a schemer who had entered marriage under false pretenses, exploiting my name while denying the core of our union. The annulment was granted swift, definitive, and public. But the true shock came when her lover was called to testify. My lawyer had traced the anonymous emails back to him, dragging him from the shadows he thought would shield him. Under oath, he admitted everything. Their affair had never ceased. They had orchestrated it all. The marriage, the deception, the masquerade. She sought the prestige of my name while giving her heart to him. The courtroom grew hushed. Her parents gazed at her as if she were a stranger. My family's sympathy turned to quiet respect. She collapsed in her seat, undone not by my actions but by the weight of her own falsehoods. When I left the courtroom, I held my head high. Her reputation lay in ruins. The friends who once adored her now murmured her disgrace. Her family, once so enchanted, cut their ties. The man she had betrayed me for vanished the moment her illusion shattered. She was left with nothing but the consequences of her arrogance. I don't take joy in what happened. Revenge isn't a grand display. It's not loud or triumphant. It's deliberate, silent. I didn't raise my voice or smash plates. I simply unraveled her deceit, thread by thread, until she stood bare before the world. Do I regret it? No. I gave her the same silence she offered me for 6 weeks, but mine was final. And in that silence, she learned the weight of being truly invisible.